one for a GT350 engine because the 5-liter one bolts on. It's more so that we don't make a kit that is specifically suited for / sold for GT350.
All you need is drop motor mounts. It'll fit under the hood, and a Gen 3 will make a crap load of power. Honestly, we just don't believe it's the right way to go. All the race teams have converted their GT350 engines to Coyote crankshafts because of failure issues due to the high vibration of that flat plane crank. And like, you don't see anybody racing GT350s and running numbers in them.
Just came back.
Yeah.
And you know, like drag racing or even mile racing.
Although I have recently seen a car that apparently has a blower on it. Sam with Coastal Dyno.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him at two events.
Race. Yeah,
I've seen him at two events now with one, but I don't know what the car runs. And apparently it's fast, but I don't know.
And where I'm going with this is that it's just knowing everything we know about the flat plane crank and potential durability problems is not a market we've wanted to enter. Like a customer of ours, Don Gift, I guess, was looking to put a blower on his GT350, and I would feel bad doing that work for somebody and then having the thing
eat itself.
Yeah. It's just not, like, it's our responsibility to tell people when shit's not a good idea.
Mike wants to know, what are your thoughts on an electric water pump on a 5.44 valve for the street?
As long as it's a good water pump, it shouldn't be a problem.
Dale wants to know what's happening for Saturday, guys.
Saturday. So Saturday's the dyno polls this weekend?
Yeah, a little afternoon open house type deal with the Florida Rideout group. So I got to, I'm working with them, seeing how many cars they're going to bring and everything. So yeah,
I think the deal's $80 2 polls.
Yeah, discounted dyno polls.
And just to clarify, that's not, we tune your car for $80. That is, we put your car on the dyno, we make it go vroom twice and give you a fancy little printout of what it did when it went vroom.
Exactly. Joel even make that noise for you now. Just kidding.
Exactly, and there's no consultation on, like, there's no consultation, no data logging other than just what the dyno pickups pick up, and yeah, $80 2 polls.
Chris wants to know, what does that knock sound like again, Joe?
That wasn't me that made the knock sound. That was Justin.
Oh, was it Justin? Justin.
Oh man. Marbles in a tin can. I'm not doing it again, everybody.
You only get one.
Is VMP getting a 2020 GT500, and what color?
Absolutely.
I have a feeling that Justin is going to be like one of the first guys to be heavy breathing over that car. He was one of the early acceptors of the 07 GT500 back in the day.
Me and Jerry Robleski were like one of the first people to tune a GT500. I think John Lund tuned one 2 days before me at Evolution.
Oh, man.
Literally, we've been neck and neck with that stuff since the beginning. So, yeah, heavy breathing over a 2020 GT500 faux show.
The real question is, what's going to leave the VMP inventory?
I don't know, man. I don't want to get rid of anything. Oh, the Focus is for sale.
Okay.
We need to sell the Focus.
So somebody buy the Focus, and we'll get a 2020.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're going to get rid of Track Attack for a 2020? Even trade with the dealership for a 2020? If anyone knows a dealer that wants to even trade for Track Attack, it looks like Justin's considering it.
Yeah. Yes.
Although, did you see they released MSRP?
I don't believe that shit.
Yeah.
That's
cheap, if that's real.
It's like an optioned out 13, 14.
Yeah.
And that was 5, 6, 7 years ago now. So I don't see how they can sell that car that cheap.
Well, maybe the engine development on GT500 was cheaper because it was already Coyote based, and it's not platform specific to the GT500 because that was the only car with that powertrain. So
maybe it's going to go on a high volume truck application.
Ooh.
So now all these questions are coming in. How much for the Focus? I bid $2 for the Focus. How much for Track Attack?
You guys got to be realistic here. Like, we may have bought the car for $1, but there's a lot more money in the cars than $1.
There's tens of thousands of dollars in the cars. So
Travis, like, if Justin gets the 2020, it'll probably be black with red racing stripes.
You don't know that for a fact. His old GT500 was red with white racing stripes. Or was it silver?
Both.
Ooh. Originally white, then silver?
Yes.
Okay.
Benny says, hi guys, Benny from Sweden. I have mounted on air/fuel gauge on my Shelby. What should the values be on?
So there's no set value. Idle, very light throttle cruise, it's probably going to be between 13.5 and 15.5. We'll call 14.6 the happy medium, but anywhere from 13.5 to 15.5. Your part throttle, aggressive part throttle watt should be under 12.2 after about the first second that you're watt. And then decel / coasting, all that stuff can vary anywhere from that 13.3 to 20. It just depends on whether or not the injectors are on, whether or not it depends on a lot of stuff. Essentially, the only time it matters is at wide open throttle and that it's below 12.2 after you've been in it for about a second. That's kind of it.
Pretty much.
Lou B came back and said he's serious about track attack. How much?
If you are 100% serious, feel free to give Justin an email or a call.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what I was
It
just
will
gonna
be...
say.
I wouldn't say that's an open discussion type thing.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
it will be MSRP on the car and then some, because it's one of a kind.
I think if they knew how much the seats were, that would put it in perspective.
Yeah, or how much the airbrushing was, or the paint job, or whatever,
Yeah.
the supercharger kit. Yeah, anyway, so
Yeah.
it won't be a deal. But contact me, we'll talk, and we will do anything. If you want that car with some of the stuff that it might need, like a Caliber Stage 3 or whatever, we'll put it in before we sell it to you.
John says, hey guys, I have been experiencing shifter lockout from second to third gear. Is there anything tuning wise to prevent this?
Not really, man. If you're getting gear lockout on a manual car, that's basically just a mechanical thing.
Hardware.
Yeah. There's things that you can do to make a car go into gear easier if you want to get into the woods on stuff, like watt boxes and stuff like that. You can kind of do stuff like that in a tune, but at the end of the day, you got to fix the hardware problem with the car as step one. If you have a relatively stock car or even a slightly modified car, if you can't get it into gear, there's a mechanical issue going on there.
Jefferson wants to know, what do you consider a top tier fuel supplier?
Shell, BP, Exxon.
Not Costco.
I mean, there's usually little stickers that say top tier fuel at gas pumps, and that's kind of like their little badge of recognition or their gold star. Just look for that stuff when you're pumping up.
Stuff that turns over.
High turnover.
Yeah, I mean, the fuel down the street from the shop here, I don't know what kind of gas station that is, but it's always busy, and it's
I want to say it's a BP.
and it's been good for us.
Snowcones wants to know, where's the best place to look for gas? Good gas. Big cities, high volume stations?
Basically high volume stations, but you got to keep in mind that not everyone gets the fuel that us power heads, gear heads use. Vast majority of fuel that's bought is 87 octane. So that's kind of irrelevant to what we're doing. So you want a station that has a high turnover of the premium fuel at that pump or that station. You might be able to get in touch with one of your local fuel distribution centers and get them to tell you where they're sending the most refill trucks for premium fuel in your area. I don't know if they'll disclose that information, but you might be able to pry it out of them if you throw them a few cookies and a couple gallons of chocolate milk.
Clint Castleberry says, racetrack will cost you an engine, I promise.
Oh, Jesus.
I've had good experience with some racetracks. Sorry if you haven't had some with one of yours or something.
They always
but-
have diesel.
Yeah.
Ramon says, Gen 1 Roush, does VMP Elbow with Twin 67 add any power?
Yeah. I'd say that we probably wouldn't sell it if it didn't, but yeah, just do some port matching when you bolt the elbow on, and you can expect some pretty good gains from a setup like that.
So we're at 231, going on 232. Do you want to try and hit a few more, or
Go 235. We'll give them an extra couple
235?
minutes. of
Okay, we'll give
questions.
you a few extra minutes.
Bonus round.
Bonus round.
Overtime.
Let's see here. Ryan says, I actually did call in an order for a new 160 mono, but unfortunately it was not available. I promised to buy other products to make up for my bad 68 throttle body decision.
It's all good, buddy. Everyone makes mistakes. Just kidding.
Jeff Scarlin is saying, I'm guessing both of your supercharged F-150s are using E85. Is there a complete kit you guys are using, or are you piecing together stuff for a fuel system to support it?
They
Neither
are
of us.
pump gas superheroes.
Yeah, neither of us run E85. I would love to run E85. It would take a lot of the the weight off my shoulders, because that
I do have a 36-gallon tank. If I could get a big enough fuel system, I could drive around for a while.
exactly in reference to my truck, when I party, I put it on C16, so that's fairly expensive for me.
I just put mine on boosting, and I run mine. I party slightly less hard than Joe.
Yeah, I party pretty hard.
Brandon says the market's getting saturated, but I'm holding out for the VMP 2018 F-150 Roush Charge tune.
Awesome.
We should have a Roush Charge truck in-house in the next couple weeks, so we'll be offering that. Yeah, that's definitely on the plate.
Do you guys offer an elbow for the 15 to 17 Roush Stage 3 car? I have a ported one now, but I'm looking for options.
Their elbow's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, and I'd say if you already have it ported already, you're probably at where you're going to be at.
Yeah.
Israel says, hello from Germany. It's a blast hauling butt down the Autobahn in my 13 Boss 302.
Awesome, man. That's got to
cool.
be a rare car over there.
John says, hey Joe, have you or are you finalizing Ghost Cam tune for final release?
Have not played with it yet, and definitely not final release because of that. So soon. Tim
wants to know, what's your scariest dyno moment?
When a strap melts, and I actually wasn't the one making the pull in the car, but my scariest moment around a dyno was when back probably 2012, when I didn't work for VMP, I brought one of my cars to a dyno day. It was my white Cobra, and had them put it on the dyno, and during the course of the dyno pull, they didn't notice that the strap was touching the exhaust, and during the 4th gear pull, it actually got hot enough that the strap melted, and it was on an all-wheel drive dyno.
Oh, God.
So it hopped around a lot, and I can tell you a certain body part did pucker pretty hard, but nothing bad happened. So, and I'd say it's as close as I've gotten to a bad experience on a dyno.
Moet LX wants to know, what do you prefer, MAF tune or MAP?
I like MAF stuff. I've played with quite a few speed density trucks now, and it's surprising how little you have to do as long as you have the right speed density cal in the truck. But I don't know, I'm so used to tuning cars with MAFs. I really like MAF stuff. I can see the advantage to speed density. It solves a lot of hokey install issues in terms of people treating MAF sensors like MAP sensors, because they're not the same. MAF sensors are very finicky about where you put them, so they both have their advantages in my opinion.
So we're at 2:35.
I think we can maybe answer some questions in the comments later on. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I'd say that in reference to that last question, for race car stuff, speed density makes the most sense.
That's
For
for
most of the stuff that we do, they already come with MAF sensors. There's not much utility or sense to changing it to speed density from the MAF setup that comes on these cars. So that's kind of my opinion.
Exactly.
And with that said, like, share, and subscribe. We have
Hit the bell for notifications.
Hit the bell for notifications. We have some exciting videos that are going to be coming up in the next few weeks.
Much excite.
So
Should we give any
exciting.
teasers, or is it
I will
just stay
say
tuned
this.
with 2 O's?
And yeah, I will say this, is that if you are an enthusiast, you want to be sure to watch our social channels.
Ooh, I get a good teaser.
And share our social channels. Get all your enthusiast friends watching our social channels too.
Because there is some really, really, really good stuff that's going to be coming up.
If you like Boost, make sure you hit that bell for notifications.
Fireballs and boss intakes.
That's right,
and
fireballs.
who knows what.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully none of that, but possibly some of that. But yeah,
And with that said,
with that said, we
Thank
go
you,
bye-bye.
everybody. We'll see you next time.
Enjoy your milk responsibly.